Hey there, language enthusiasts. Welcome to our YouTube channel. We're tackling the beast that is English grammar. It's not just about getting your sentences right, it's about acing your communication, nailing your academics, and skyrocketing your professional journey. English grammar may appear intimidating, but with the right guidance, it can be simplified and mastered. That's what we're here for. So, are you ready to conquer English grammar? Let's get started. To begin, we need to understand the building blocks of any sentence, the parts of speech. Every sentence we speak or write in English is made up of words that have a specific function. There are 8 of these functions, or parts of speech, that we need to know. Let's dive into each one of them. First up, we have nouns. A noun is a word that represents a person, place, thing, or idea. For example, apple, Paris, Jane, and love are all nouns. Next, we have pronouns. These are words that replace nouns. Words like he, she, it, they, and we are all pronouns. For instance, instead of saying Jane is eating an apple, Jane likes the apple, we can say Jane is eating an apple, she likes it. Then we have verbs. Verbs express action or a state of being. For example, run, sleep, is, and seem are all verbs. In the sentence Jane runs in the park, runs is the verb. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. They often answer questions like how, when, where, how much, and how often. An example of an adverb is quickly in the sentence, Jane runs quickly. Adjectives describe or modify nouns or pronouns. For example, red, happy, 3, and delicious are all adjectives. In the sentence, Jane has 3 red apples. 3 and red are adjectives. Prepositions show the relationship between a noun or pronoun and another word in the sentence. Words like in, on, at, from, with are prepositions. For instance, in the sentence, Jane is at the park, at is the preposition. Conjunctions connect words, phrases, or clauses. Examples of conjunctions include and, but, or, so, because, and although. For example, Jane runs and plays at the park. Finally, we have interjections. These are words or phrases that express strong emotion. Words like oh, wow, ouch, and hey are interjections. Remember, understanding parts of speech is the first step towards mastering English grammar. Now that we've understood the parts of speech, let's move on to how they come together to form sentences. In English, the basic sentence structure is composed of a subject, a verb, and an object, often abbreviated as SVO. The subject is the doer of the action, the verb is the action itself, and the object is the receiver of the action. Let's illustrate this with a simple example. Consider the sentence, Tom eats an apple. Here, Tom is the subject, eats is the verb, and an apple is the object. Tom is the one doing the action of eating, and the apple is what he is eating. Quite simple, isn't it? However, not all sentences are this straightforward. Some sentences contain more than one subject or object and may also contain multiple verbs. For instance, Tom and Jerry ate an apple and a banana. In this case, Tom and Jerry are the subjects, ate is the verb, and an apple and a banana are the objects. Once we've mastered the basic sentence structure, we can then proceed to understand more complex sentences. In a complex sentence, we have a main clause that can stand alone as a sentence, and one or more subordinate clauses that cannot. For example, although it was raining, Tom and Jerry decided to go for a run. Here, Tom and Jerry decided to go for a run is the main clause, and although it was raining is the subordinate clause. Understanding and identifying the subject, verb, and object in a sentence is fundamental to grasping sentence structure. It's like knowing the blueprint of a building. Once you know it, you can understand how the building is put together. So whether you're writing an email, a report, or simply speaking English, always keep the subject, verb, and object in mind. It will help you construct your sentences correctly and convey your thoughts more effectively. Understanding sentence structure can significantly improve your English writing and speaking skills. Next up, we have tenses, a crucial aspect of English grammar. Now, tenses are just like time-traveling tools for our language. They allow us to communicate about events from the past, the present, and the future. Let's begin with the past tense. When we talk about something that has already happened, we use the past tense. For example, I watched a movie yesterday. Here, the action of watching has been completed in the past. Moving on to the present tense, it's used for actions happening right now or habits and general truths. For instance, I am talking to you, or the sun rises in the east. Now let's jump into the future. The future tense is used when we talk about things that haven't happened yet, like, I will travel to Japan next year. However, do note that English tenses are not always as straightforward as they seem. There are more complex forms like the perfect and continuous tenses, which we'll dive into in our upcoming videos. A quick pro tip before we wrap up: it's common to mix up tenses in spoken English, but when it comes to formal writing, consistency in tense usage is important. Remember, correct use of tenses is key to expressing time accurately in English. And there you have it! Those are the basics of English grammar. We've journeyed through the parts of speech, decoding the roles they play in sentences. We've explored sentence structure, understanding how these parts come together to form meaningful expressions. And we've delved into the tenses, seeing how they help us convey time in our communication. All these elements, like puzzle pieces, come together to form the beautiful, complex language that is English. The more you practice, the more these pieces will fit together seamlessly in your speech and writing. Remember, mastering a language is like mastering a musical instrument. It requires regular practice and a bit of patience. So keep practicing, keep exploring, and watch as your English skills flourish. You've taken the first steps towards mastering English grammar, and that's something to be proud of. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun and easy learning content. Until next time, happy learning!